Automation is going to come at a quicker and quicker pace year by year. What we're experiencing now is very, very short, imminent changes to the way we work on almost a daily and yearly basis.
So as technology gets more and more advanced and more things are automated, we're going to see new job categories.
I would ask, if we could, that if your bill is not the one being heard, if you would be willing to go outside so that the people who have an interest in the particular bill being heard will be able, to the extent possible, to sit in this room so that they can observe and participate in the discussion.
For human beings to take.
When it comes together, it could create quite an interesting future where humans are just more productive rather than humans are simply replaced.
Automation is critical. The reality is right now is the ability to automate repetitive processes.
We are on the record. This is the digital video deposition of Dr. Mike O'Reilly testifying in the matter of Raylene Stokes versus County of Orange et al. In the Superior Court of the State of California, County of Orange, case number 30-2010-003-51398. This deposition is being held at 402 North Nevada Street, Oceanside, California. Today is Monday, October 29th, 2012. The time is now 10:09 a.m. My name is Greg Eisman, Legal Video Specialist with Jordan Media Incorporated, 1228 Madison Avenue in San Diego, California. The certified shorthand reporter today is Maggie Smith, in association with Crom Court Reporting, San Diego, California.
There's actually group home placement and foster care placement, which that money flows through us out to the providers. The Child Welfare Services program is the one that pays for our overhead for our social workers. And that's usually somewhere around 85 million, somewhere around in there, roughly. I'm not certain offhand. And then we also have monies coming in for adoption services program, which is different, and our AB 12, which is just passed this year, which is for emancipated youth to carry them through the age of 21. So there's several funding sources that flow into CFS.
Let's start with the Social Services Agency total budget for 2012. What was that total budget?
The total budget for operating budget is about $875 million.
Is there some other kind of budget besides the operating budget?
Yes, our total budget is about $2.2 billion. That includes public assistance payments for Medi-Cal and CalFresh.
Okay.
That will then make our human engagement much more efficient and much more productive.
If you're a lifelong learner, this is a prime opportunity for you to be successful.
So if you look in the historical context of types of employment, I think they generally fall into three categories. First, the tool category, and in there are really the basic tools and functions that we needed to get elements of work done, whether it was farming equipment or the basics of processing in a factory. Then you had the second category, which were jobs that were typically categorized as white collar. I would call them thinking jobs, jobs that require human cognition and brain. The third category I would consider to be jobs and employment that require human emotion and soul. And in that you can look at things like nursing. No question that when you go from tools to thinking jobs to soul and emotive jobs, that automation is going to impact all of them.
I'm Cliff Justice. I'm a partner at Kpmg. I lead Kpmg's investments in artificial intelligence and intelligent automation. The combination of artificial intelligence and all the traditional computing and automation technologies that we've been developing over the last half century are really coming together and disrupting the way work is done in a way we haven't seen in 100 years.
My name is Mike DeClaudio. I'm a principal at Kpmg, and I focus on people and change. A common misconception with automation is that it's going to replace a job or replace all sorts of workers. In reality, what automation has done is just made processing faster. So what organizations have done successfully is change the process to take advantage of the automation.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Levitt, and I'm a business and workplace author, speaker, consultant, and futurist. It's going to be a game of collaboration. How can you use your humans alongside your machines to get the best possible outcome?
We are not new to the concept of technology coming into the basic work life of humans and interacting with it, replacing it, augmenting it, and then figuring out what the world looks like after that.
100 years ago, 40% of the United States economy was agriculture labor. Today, it's less than 2%. Technology comes and automates massive parts of economies. That results in a step change in cost, an increase in abundance, and create jobs for those workers.
Technology tends to be a net job improver and a net job creator versus a net job replacer.
I know Katie and Julia are coming from another meeting, so let's go ahead and get started. Dave, what's the latest with the smart building pilot?
I've already done some preliminary analysis on the data, and I'm finding some high temperature outliers. We should discuss it later in the meeting.
Okay, sounds great.
Dave, do you know if we'll have enough of the Yanzi multi-sensors to update the showcase floor?
Actually, I have some concerns about the location of those sensors. We should hold off on doing a one-to-one replacement until I can...
Oh, I'm really sorry to interrupt, Dave. I actually have some ideas about the replacement, so maybe let's connect after the meeting.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll follow up with my team and post an update to the channel after the meeting.
And I'll follow up and send Yanzi an email about those showcase sensors.
Okay, that sounds great.
I think what's different this time around is we're starting to see the pace at which the change is occurring much more rapidly, and the ability for machines to not just do automated task-driven projects, but also for the machine to have the ability to think, to have sentience, the ability to engage in the way a human brain would think or function.
So for example, if you're a boss and you're sending an email to a direct report to give them some constructive feedback, your chatbot or your intelligent assistant can encourage you to take a step back and say, maybe you want to rephrase that in a slightly different way, to make it more diplomatic, to make it sound like you're more empathetic and more caring.
Over time, there are things that humans can adapt to and humans can perform that are always going to be better than technology. So when we work with companies like AT&T, what you end up with is an organization who's very willing to look at its entire enterprise and really being able to ask themselves all of the hard questions and not putting anything sort of off the table.
Hi there, my name is John Palmer, Senior Vice President of Human Resources and Chief Learning Officer. About 5 years ago, we looked at our corporation, we looked at all the transformation that was going to take place as a result of technologies that were emerging. We had two choices at that point as we looked at the skill sets and talents of our employees. We could either go out and wholesale hire all of that new talent to take us through the transformation, or we could actually look at our employee population and invest in them and give them the North Star of where to go from a reskilling perspective so that those are the employees that can take us through the transformation. As we've architected this reskilling program from an employee perspective, the first thing that we really wanted to do is be fully transparent about what the future looked like. We created roles that ultimately mapped into jobs, and those jobs had curriculums associated with them, so employees have the ability to go into one of our systems, we call it Career Intelligence, and we literally give all transparent information about that job. What's the trend on that job over the last 3 to 5 years? Are there more or less people in that job? That gives the employee the ability to make their personal decision of, is this a job that I'd like to go reskill in? Since we've done this over the last 2.5 years, employees that have reskilled and that have engaged in these curriculums are 2 times more likely to find a new job here internally at AT&T, and they're 4 or 5 times more likely to get a promotion or a progression from their current role that they're in since they've reskilled.
We're not looking at organizations who are successfully using automation as a job replacement tool. They're replacing skills. And the question then for the humans in the enterprise is, how do I keep skills that are relevant, and how do I know how to use tools in a way that's relevant?
One great example of how you can look at a company that really tasked automation head on was Boxed. They took and made the whole company aware on the factory floor that everyone was being automated out from a task perspective. But they didn't fire a single person.
My name is Che Huang. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO here at Boxed. Boxed is a wholesale company in the sense that you have your BJ's Wholesale, your Sam's Clubs, and your Costco's of the world. But the change in our business model is we ship it directly to you with no membership fees. When we decided to automate the fulfillment center, we already had hundreds of folks in the facility. And so we made the decision to not let anyone go solely because of automation. So we called an all hands, told everyone that, and really pointed to kind of the craziness that was being built in the background and said, that's not only the future of Boxed, but that's your future as well. The best and most efficient facilities are the ones where you still have trained and qualified humans in order to operate, troubleshoot, and service the machines, while the machines do a lot of the repetitive tasks that you frankly don't enjoy doing anyway. And so retraining folks from, I can't stress this enough, like as manual of a job as you can get, to one where kind of you're punching in numbers on a touch screen and understanding what's going on is really what we've aimed to do.
You need humans in the organization today to be able to drive your maximization metrics. For now and today, this is still the most powerful hard drive on the planet.
The objective should be optimization. And what is the opportunity for us to really take advantage of new capabilities in the market and meet our customer demands as they're shifting faster and meet our employees' demands as they're shifting faster.
Now that we're moving much faster, there is an obligation on both corporate citizens and individuals to make sure that they are focused and envisioned on what it is that they're going to do to see the natural progression of how that's going to affect their career and their job. This is not a pure corporate responsibility. It is upon everyone inside the organization and just as individuals to make sure that they're looking at it, providing a roadmap, and understanding where the world is going, and more importantly than understanding where the world is going, understanding how they want to fit in it.
This next decade will be a race for innovation. There is so much change that is coming because of artificial intelligence and all of the innovations that it makes possible.
The future can also be where the employer doesn't just say, sorry, that job is automated and it's gone forever. Instead asks, hey, that job is no longer there, but what else can we have you do now that the business is going to grow in other places? And for the employee to say, hey, I'm willing to be retrained, I'm willing to work with technology that I don't understand right now.
The humans that are going to be the most valuable to organizations are the ones that are going to be most adept at making changes and adept at changing the way that they work.
It's going to open up opportunities for people to do things that are personally meaningful and use human skills to feel like they are making a difference.
The question for every company is going to be, how do I create two kinds of efficiencies? Efficiency of cost and quality, and efficiency of human empowerment and satisfaction. And if I can hit those two efficiencies, then you're winning in a market of mass automation. That is intelligent automation.